I got a comment that got my gears turning, got me thinking, got that old dead hamster in my brain running again. This comes from Messy Bitch KYS, or when I have this comment saved, it was this, but they changed their name since then. Can you please talk about what RuPaul said in the first All-Stars? I think I'll miss you most of all. To Manila and Latrice. So the full quote is, as Team Latrilla is getting eliminated, is Manila and Latrice, my brainy and courageous queens. I think I'll miss you most of all, sashay away. Now, that's a clear, obvious Wizard of Oz reference. She refers to them as brainy and courageous, which is what both the Cowardly Lion and the Scarecrow were looking for. And Dorothy tells the Scarecrow that she'll miss him most of all. But is there anything more to it? Is there anything more than just, this is a really good way to say goodbye to, you know, some fan favorites? Maybe, in my opinion, there's not when it comes to that. I don't think it's any sort of favoritism. I don't think it's any sort of Rue just likes them. Rue does remember who Latrice and Manila are. That is true. That not every queen can say that, because some queens just don't get the name remembered in RuPaul's head. But both of those queens do, so they're definitely remembered by RuPaul. But are they favorites? I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't assume so. I think everyone loves Latrice, and I think a lot of people love Manila, but I don't think RuPaul really gives any favoritism when it comes to his show. I really don't. I think it's more to say of his expectations of what's going to happen. Because of the teams of All-Stars 1, Team Latrilla was definitely the most odd. It was definitely like, you saw the teams, you were like, all of them make sense except for Manila and Latrice, but in a weird way, that's what makes their team the most interesting and, you know, has the most potential, because those two queens are so opposite. We don't really know their interactions together. Unlike every other team we had, like we had Raven and Jujubee and Yara and Alexis were best friends on their seasons. Chad and Chanel had worked together for years. Nina and Tammy were on the same season, and Mimi and Pandora, even though Pandora didn't see it, those two were basically two sides of the same coin. They were like literally they were perfect for each other, and they could have gone far, but they didn't because Pandora couldn't take it. Anyways, so when we come down to Team Latrilla, their team was the most interesting. Their team was the most fun to look at. Their team actually seemed to be doing something far different than what the rest of the teams were. So I think RuPaul had a certain expectation of how far they would go, and she assumed they would go farther than what happened. And I think that's kind of why it led into that goodbye. And we do see this other times, like when Valentina got eliminated, she said, I thought you could make it all the way, and didn't even say really much of a goodbye speech for Valentina compared to literally all the other queens. So I think RuPaul has an expectations, especially what has happened before, because Latrilla won the first challenge, but you know, they were in the bottom for the next two. And Valentina had done well on her season and then was in the bottom once and got eliminated because she didn't know the fucking words. Bye, bitch. So at the end of the day, I feel that that response was mainly just specifically for RuPaul's expectations of how far they were going to go in competition, and those expectations were not met. Not so much that she feels any favoritism towards those two queens compared to any other queens on that season, because I feel like for the most part, RuPaul likes most of the queens that were on All-Stars 1 and remembers the majority of them. So I really don't think there was any more to it than just, it's a good reference, and she expected a little bit more from the team. So that's all I have to say. My name is Josh Rivers. Thank you so much for watching. Click whatever thumb matches your emotions right now. Leave a comment telling me your feelings on this subject, or leave me suggestions on topics I should do in the future, Drag Race related or not. Speaking of comments, and this goes to you too, Messy, because I was already planning on doing this, but then you made it a little bit hard. If you see me comment on someone else's video, because I do comment, saying hi is harmless, but don't request a video for me to do on someone else's video, because that's it makes me feel weird. I don't know how the people that, you know, on whose video is on feel. I don't know how they feel about it at all. But for me, it makes me feel weird. So don't do that. I understand your enthusiasm, and I'm great. You're excited for me to talk about a topic you want me to talk about, but just don't do that. It kind of makes me, you know what? It kind of makes me feel like Sally Field in Soap Dish. You know how she goes to the mall to get attention. Now whenever I'm going to leave a comment, I'm going to expect someone to reply. and it makes me feel like an asshole saying that. You can also follow me on Twitter at pixelpixelboom. I like to tweet, and you can also join the Discord. The Discord link is in the description. We have a good time. We talk about stuff. We share art. We do all sorts of things. So thank you so much. And like I said, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll see you guys next time. And remember to have fun. Bye, guys.